I can't remember at all. I couldn't. So I grew up with my mother. My mother was a school teacher. So I grew up in Kandy, went to a very small school called Peradine Junior. Then from grade 5 onwards, grade 6 onwards, came to Colombo, came to Ananda. And then until university I was at Ananda. So that is my childhood.
Your mum was actually in Kandy? And
No, my mum was in Kandy, and when I came to Colombo, I was this village kid who had just come to the city, couldn't get adapted. And now I don't know whether it is a good thing to say in public in front of all the people watching. I used to cry a lot. So
of course you were just 10 years old, so you're permitted to.
So my mother had no option but to get a transfer and come to Colombo. So we moved in.
So you were an only child?
I was the only child.
What was that like?
That was not bad. Probably you get all the attention.
Indeed.
And
did you miss not having an elder brother or a younger sister? Or?
Probably not, because I was on my own all the time. I used to read a lot. I always had my imaginary friends and my imaginary heroes and all the people around me. So I never felt that there was a need for siblings.
So some people say that only kids get spoiled. Was that true?
Probably. You have to look at me and say whether they have been spoiled or not.
Ananda College, what was the experience like? First years must have been tough.
It was actually, when I look back, it was a real experience, because until I came to Ananda, until grade 5, since I was in a small school, I was a star, and the most sought after student. Then suddenly you come to Ananda, and you are amongst almost, I would say, in that batch, probably about 500 students who have come from all parts of the country, and suddenly you are nobody. And add to that, you are new to Colombo, you are in the hostel, you are away from your mother, you lose all your confidence. And it took almost 2 years, I would say, before something interesting happened, and my confidence came back.
What was that interesting thing?
What happened was, as I told you, I became nobody. Actually, my grades fell. I was always first in the class, and I dropped down to about 10 or 15 during the first 2 years, and I didn't know what was going on. I completely lost confidence. And one day, one of the teachers pulled me up for talking in the class, disturbing the other students, and as a punishment, I was asked to go and give a speech in the assembly, and that was punishment. But that was a fantastic opportunity for me, because I used to give a lot of speeches when I was in my previous school. So my mother and myself prepared a lot for that speech. That speech was about Ismahindu priest. So we prepared a lot of poems around the speech. And when I went and gave the speech, suddenly everybody started talking about me. And principal called me, the headmistress called me and asked, who you are, from where you are. Suddenly I was, all of a sudden, overnight somebody. And that probably gave all my confidence back. And from that point onwards, I was back to normal, and I did pretty well in school from there onwards.
Were you more academically bent, or were you a person who was probably...
I was, no, I was not. Very interesting. I was not academically bent. I was a prefect. I was a senior prefect. I did a lot of extracurricular activities. I was a